Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome. My name is Ailia. Thank you for joining me today as we tap into the divine flow of energy and unveil what it is that we need to know now. Trust that you found this video when you're meant to. Use your intuition. Accept only what resonates and leave the rest with love. Thank you, spirit guides, angels, and the cosmic consciousness. Help me see and speak clearly and truthfully the messages that come through today. Oh man, I'm already really feeling the surge of energy right now, so let's just get into it. Starting off with the Knight of Swords and the Four of Swords. What else can we get here? You might be getting the message that rest is very necessary at this time. Oh, and we got the Tower, the Chariot. Yeah. Wow, okay, something big is happening right now. With the Knight of Swords, I'm feeling a lot of intensity, a lot of anxiety, and I think this is why this rest is recommended right now, because something is breaking apart. With the Tower and the Chariot, something huge is being dismantled at this time that is going to help propel us to move forward. And this change that's happening, this breakdown that's happening, is going to create a lot of anxiety, a lot of tension, a lot of uncertainty. It's going to send us into this Knight of Swords energy where we want to charge, but we're not charging forward, we're charging backwards. So that tells me that when this happens, there's going to be a sense of mental regression in our mind. Maybe we're going to feel incredibly triggered and we're going to react to situation using maybe outdated ways of behaving, because we also got the Five of Wands here. So this outdated way of thinking is going to put us into like a fight or flight mode. You know, we're going to be heavily triggered right now. But what the universe is recommending too is that we rest. We take this time to rest, to come back to center, and to realign ourselves through rest and meditation. Because even though there seems to be this breakdown, what's happening really is a breakthrough. It's something that's going to charge us toward our next level. You know, we're leaving something that felt very familiar, very protected, something that we've constructed to keep our ego in place, to help sustain the energy of our ego. And that's breaking down so that we can move and travel into our next era But it's not going to feel very good, when the ego is getting dismantled. And again, the ego is not a bad thing. I don't see the ego as being a negative thing. It is something that is necessary in order to be present in this dimension, in this reality. But there are aspects of the ego that might not serve us anymore. And those aspects are the ones that are going to break down. And that is necessary so that we can release and move on to the next step. We have the sun at the bottom of the deck as well. So that is a very hopeful sign that what you're moving toward is something very bright, something very abundant, something very illuminating. And the King of Swords just came out too. So again, this shows us that we're moving into the next step from the Knight into the King. So from the Knight, this place of anxiety, this place of worry and tension and cyclical thoughts, if we allow ourselves to move through the rest that is necessary, we're going to step into the seat of power. We're going to master our mind, and we're going to be able to fully metamorphize, move through the metamorphosis. With the butterfly symbol here, we're going to be able to move through that so that we can rise above the clouds of worry and anxiety. You see, with this Knight, they're really caught up in it. This is surrounding them, and they're moving backwards, and there's like a really heavy, they're being caught off guard, right? They're moving against the wind as well. They're moving against the flow. But here, it's calm, it's peaceful, it's serene. They're rising above the clouds, and this is what you are moving towards. But you must practice a level of patience with yourself during this time, and try to move beyond the parts of you that want to fight, the parts of you that want to resist, the parts of you that want to move against the current and stay in control, or what you perceive as control. Temperance, yeah, exactly what we were just saying. You need to exercise a level of patience, a level of compassion, a heightened awareness around your triggers and the things that set you off. With the 9 of Wands to the 8 of Wands, I'm hearing this as your burden is becoming lighter. Your burden is becoming lighter. Your defenses are being broken down. Yeah, your defenses are being broken down right now, but you have to allow the breakdown to happen. The sun came back out, so that is such a strong confirmation that what we're moving into is this era of growth, this era of prosperity, this era of success, abundance. You're about to step into this place where you can really tap into and heal our childhood, that essence that was maybe lost during childhood, our sense of wonder, our sense of play, our sense of curiosity. And this is what's being dismantled right now. That's what the Tower is breaking down. The Tower is breaking down all the places in your internal, emotional, egoic construct that is wanting to stay safe through this this stiffness, this like through this sense of control, the things that we think that we need in order to stay safe. That's what's being dismantled and broken down right now. And what you are being cautioned against is the ways that you're going to fight to keep it in place, the ways you're going to fight to maintain control, to prevent change from happening. Because it's getting broken down. This 9 of Wands here has almost the same energy as the Tower, where they are exhausted, bruised and battered, but they're not willing to surrender. And this 8 is coming in to sort of break all of that down. And it's coming in kind of rapid fire. Anything that is not serving your highest good, anything that is not in alignment with the manifestation that you are creating for yourself is being broken down so that you can move towards the sun, so that you can move towards your liberation, so that you can move towards this illumination that is already here for you. You just have to sort of surrender to accept. Okay, wow, that's beautiful. Let's see what the Work Your Light Oracle has to add to that. So we have Mintakin, longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. Priestess, how are you being called to step up and lead in transformation? Things are changing at a cellular level, deep healing. Wow, yes. So with this Mintakan card, longing for home, belonging, the original light worker, it's like what we were saying earlier about reclaiming that essence that was lost during childhood. This sense of home and belonging, a lot of times when we experience trauma, this gets lost, this gets taken from us. And what you are being given the opportunity right now is the chance to reclaim the sense of home, reclaim your sense of belonging, and to step into this power of being the light worker that you were born to be. Belonging is such a powerful essence in the Sun card. This child is sitting free, like liberated and free, open arms. There's a sense of a knowledge of safety. When you know that you belong, that sense of safety returns and you can become more of yourself, more of your true essence. And with this Priestess card, how are you being called to step up and lead? Your sense of power comes from within, and your sense of power is going to help elevate you to the next step. I was reading something the other day about how we have this misconstrued sense of power where what is the quote, like ultimate power destroys ultimately, or something like that. Absolute power destroys absolutely, or something along those lines. I'm not able to recall the exact quote right now, but I'm sure one of you knows, and if you remember, if you can just put that in the comments for me. But we are actually born of power. The truth is, we're born of power. Everything in nature has power contained within it. What we do with that power is what defines us. You know, we're always being tested when we have power to see whether we are going to use it to our benefit and to the benefit of those around us, or if we're going to abuse that power. And, you know, that comes from within. That is something that will reveal the essence of who you really are. So what I'm seeing is that when this breaks down, when this part of your ego that is no longer serving you is removed, and you are able to journey into this next step of your evolution, and you are able to access this power that is coming to you from you, what are you going to do with that power? How are you going to claim that power so that you can step up and lead? Because things are changing at a cellular level. There's deep healing taking place right now. There's a deep transformation happening for you right now. We started this reading off with this sense of urgency and anxiety, and it transformed into this openness, this bliss, this joyfulness, and this happiness. So there is beautiful abundance and change happening for you right now. But the challenge is what comes in between. The challenge comes from taking a step back when you're starting to feel overwhelmed, knowing that whatever is breaking down and leaving is meant to happen so that you can surrender what no longer serves you and enter into this new level of awareness for yourself, and to exercise patience and compassion, especially when you're triggered and you want to when you are entering that fight, flight, or freeze mode, to take a step back and to give yourself that space and that time to come back to center, to come back to peace, to meditate. Meditate does not always mean that you have to, sit in a very specific position and do any sort of rigid breathing or practice. Breath work will help during this time, but meditation is something as simple as enjoying a book, or going to the park and laying in the grass, or just doing something that relaxes you and that brings you a sense of peace and joy. And let what is being dismantled fall away during this time. I'm going to end this reading with a card from the Wild Chorus Oracle. I really love the artwork in this deck, and the messages are always so uplifting. So what do we have here? Surrender your sorrow. We were just speaking about surrender. Surrender your sorrow. So this is speaking heavily to that energy of holding on to the things that don't feel good. You know, a lot of times we think like, what am I trying to say? Hold on. It's like, you know, a lot of times we will glorify our victimhood. We will romanticize our addictions. We will become very attached to the things that don't feel good because that has become part of our identity. Sometimes we can become very attached to our depression and our anxiety because we've lived with it for so long, and because we unfortunately receive a morbid sense of satisfaction from having this identity, and sometimes from sharing this identity with others who then will feed us pity. I know that sounds really cruel and really harsh, but that's really the sense that I'm getting right now, that a lot of times we like to generate these stories of sorrow and these stories of victimhood so that people feel sorry for us, and that kind of like validates our excuses for not being able to do certain things, not being able to overcome certain things because we are really attached to these stories. And I am seeing this as what the tower is breaking down right now. Like, you're no longer able to use these outdated stories to validate and make excuses for the ways that you are not serving yourself, for the ways that you are not taking that power that you are born with, born into, and is a source from the universe. You're no longer able to pretend that you don't have access to it. You're taking your life into your own hand. You're stepping up and leading through that power. This changing at a cellular level means it's changing from within. And you're no longer able to delay the healing that is coming to you, that is already happening for you. Surrender your sorrow, be held in safety, release, reopen to love. A crow bows their head in grief and is comforted by another as waxy magnolias bloom above them. Despite the sadness in the card's title, this spell offers relief. Magnolia flower essence is used to bring ease to transformative experiences like births, deaths, and healing crises. These magnolias cradle the crows, sheltering them in a protective canopy. Surrendering is not easy. We often need all the help we can get to release what we're carrying. This card marks the end of a certain kind of initiation, a process of change that you've been on. When you pull this card, it's time to come back to connection. Let this card be your reminder that you don't have to carry the hardest things alone or indefinitely. These crows herald a safe haven, a person or place that can hold you as you release what's gotten pent up. It reminds you to reach out for support, but also to know how to relax into that support. This isn't a card of you doing a lot or putting sustained effort into anything. Even if you're not currently grieving or in crisis, it's time to release stress and surrender to comfort and care. The attunement on this card says, find a forest or blanket or friend to envelop you in a warm embrace. Climb out of the hole you've fallen into that is not your grave. Integrate what you've been experiencing. Catch your breath. Allow your shoulders to droop. Loosen your jaw. You have permission to be done for now. I think that is a beautiful place to leave off this reading. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you've liked this reading, please like the video. Please consider subscribing, as this is a new channel that would love to really connect with the community here on YouTube. And I do offer personal readings as well, so you're welcome to reach out to me and we can work that out together. Thank you again, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Bye.